amazing, beautiful people. How you doing? Welcome back to another Japanese memes reaction video. My last freaking Japanese memes video did really well and had so many comments of all of you asking me to check out another video from Japan Analysis's channel. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The meme of Japan's most embarrassing man. Literally all of you were telling me I need to check out this video. I don't know anything about this story, so I'm guessing we're about to learn about it. It was briefly featured in our last video where we checked out Japanese memes, so yeah, I'm actually kind of curious. It sounds like it's gonna be kind of fun. The last reaction was a lot of fun, so if you got any more videos like this you'd like me to react to or check out anything from Japan, let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to support these reactions, please like the videos and please press that subscribe button as well to support this channel. Without more talking from me, let's jump into my first time ever reaction to the meme of Japan's most embarrassing man.
This guy's meltdown became Japan's biggest meme.
I feel kind of bad laughing at this because I don't know why this man is crying, so I'm gonna reserve like my judgment until I find out more about this, because otherwise I'm just laughing at a poor guy crying. Oh, come on! What is this?
Alright, you might feel bad for him, but let me assure you, he's a massive...
I love that I love that he's like, you might feel bad. I do feel kind of bad. What's wrong with him? What's going on?
Alright, you might feel bad for him, but let me assure you, he's a massive idiot. The whole story starts with Nonomura Ryutaro, this guy, working a boring office job at City Hall in a small town. He had actually been there for 15 years when one day he saw a man on the news that changed his life forever. Nonomura knew this guy. They went to the same high school. His name was Hashimoto Toru, and he was headline news after becoming the new governor of Osaka in a landslide victory. This made Nonomura jealous. He had the same educational background, including graduating from a top university. Why couldn't that be him on TV? So, Nonomura decided, at the ripe age of 41, he was going to quit his job and become Japan's next political sensation. There was only one problem. In high school, Hashimoto Toru was a Chad rugby star, and by the time he entered politics, he was already a popular TV lawyer. As for Nonomura, he was kinda a loser. He didn't let that faze him though, and within 6 months, he had begun campaigning.
Damn.
He chose a small town called Taishi, also in Hyogo.
Honestly, shout out this guy so far, you know? He's already campaigning. He's been motivated. So far, this is the story of an underdog.
You know what? Our entire story takes place in Hyogo, okay? And ran to be their mayor. There were only 2 other candidates. It couldn't be that hard, right? He got destroyed. He got completely destroyed. He didn't even get 4% of the vote. But Nonomura had the resolve of a lion. He was not going to give up until he won an election.
He tried again. 2008, tried. Oh dear. Oh, we're going down. Oh, no. Oh dear. He tried again. He's trying again. 2009. Oh, 29.3. 2010. 21.4. Okay, he lost a little bit there.
Yes, he had finished in last place 4 times in a row, but his results were getting better over time.
They are getting better.
Nonomura couldn't keep losing forever, though. After being unemployed for 3 years, his savings were running out. He had spent all his money on politics, and even...
Oh, I didn't realize he was doing all of this whilst unemployed. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
For 3 years, his savings were running out. He had spent all his money on politics and even moved to another city to run in their elections. That city, Nishinomiya, was about to have an election for their prefectural assembly, basically their state legislature. So Nonomura needed a winning strategy, and fast. Meanwhile, remember Giga Chad, Hashimoto Toru?
There's Giga Chad.
His career was popping off. As the Zoomers say, he was getting the juice. After becoming governor of Osaka, he...
Is that something people say? Do people say that? Getting the juice? I've never heard that before.
Left the LDP, more like Loser Democratic Party, and started his own brand new political party called Osaka Ishin no Kai, or the Osaka Restoration Association, and this party was dominating. By 2016, it would become the 3rd largest opposition party in Japan, and it still is today. The success of the Osaka Restoration Association gave the jealous Nonomura an idea. What if he made his own party too? But what would he call it? The Osaka Restoration Association was already taken, so he couldn't use that name. Unless... Yep, enter the Nishinomiya Restoration Association. He literally just stole Hashimoto's party name to piggyback off of his success. I told you he was a loser. The worst part?
No.
It worked.
It worked!
The election took place on April 10th, 2011.
It worked!
And despite his new party copying strategy, Nonomura still wasn't a favorite to win. But on election day, a miracle happened. The race was selecting 7 seats from 10 candidates, of which a whopping 3 of them represented the LDP, the most popular party in Japan. And all 3 of them could have gotten in. But the LDP f***ed up. One of their candidates got too many votes, 16,000, leaving the other 2 with only 10,882 and 9,503. The perfect situation for Nonomura, who barely came in 7th place by a 400-vote margin. Nonomura Ryutaro, the only member of the Nishinomiya Restoration Association, was now in the Hyogo Prefectural Assembly and had access to all of the benefits that entailed.
Hold on. At this point, right? This guy seems like a genius. This is supposed to be like this. We're supposed to not like this guy, but this guy quit his job, pursued politics out of sheer jealousy, and has now made it. Like he actually made it. Shit, man. I'm kind of rooting for this guy a little bit.
Because of his deceptive party name and his fluke election result, Nonomura didn't start off on the best foot with his colleagues. But now, he was on the assembly, and he had a second chance to make a better Not, just kidding. We're talking about this guy, remember? Nonomura's first act before the assembly was to give a long, patriotic speech. He started off by talking about how his dream was to honor the national anthem, put Japan first, and how he really wanted a wife, and he was putting his body on the line to investigate Hyogo's prefectural dating services. Needless to say, this did not give a good first impression on his peers. But it...
No. People laughing at you is usually a sign of a bad impression, unless you are a stand-up comedian, in which case it's good.
Didn't stop there. Other members of the assembly immediately clocked him as a weirdo, so he never managed to make any friends. When another member of the assembly was chosen over him for a committee position, Nonomura sent him an email containing the phrase, "This is a command, not a request," and "I will hold this grudge forever." He also kept nominating himself for leadership positions on the committee, but never got a single vote from another member. Even the people who voted for Nonomura didn't really like him. They felt deceived by his party copying strategy. In a particularly embarrassing moment, the assembly leader forced Nonomura to clarify on the record that his party was not affiliated with the Osaka Restoration Association in any way. That still didn't satisfy voters, so in 2012, he renamed his party to Nishinomiya's Goddess of Hope. Then...
Please tell me he didn't do that. He named it the Goddess of Hope? Why did he name it the Goddess of Hope? I don't understand. What's that got to do with anything? Is that what he's supposed to be? Oh, dear, man.
2012, he renamed his party to Nishinomiya's Goddess of Hope.
When does the
then,
crying
in 2013,
start?
The Last Hope.
The Last Hope!
And again, to the Last Hope Regional Party. He
probably
would have continued changing the name of his party, but his career in politics took a bit of a nosedive.
The Last Hope. That's not a good
First,
name.
by disclosing my earnings,
it's like a
I
Star
ensure
Wars
I
movie.
won't lose the public's trust due to conflicts with money in politics. Second, by disclosing my political expenses, I assure there won't be any misuse of funds for personal items. Lastly, by revealing behind-the-scenes Hyogo Assembly negotiations, I will provide transparency, guiding our citizens' voting decisions. Prefectural Assembly members are given a stipend for political research. And when it comes to political research, let me tell you, Nonomura was basically a modern-day Charles Darwin. When he filed his 2013 expense report, he had spent 3 million yen on research trips. 3 million yen. Damn,
what?
He must have traveled all over Hyogo researching, right? Well, not exactly. He basically only went to 2 places. How did he spend that much money going to only 2 places?
What the
well,
hell?
Let's just say he was going on a lot of these research trips. In 1 year, he went on 195 of them. 195. Damn, this motherfucker loved to travel. That's like a trip every other day.
Yeah, it is.
So where was he going so often? Well, his main destination was the Kinosaki Hot Spring Station. He went there 106 times. Okay, well, where are these hot...
This guy went to a hot springs 106 times and claimed it as business governmental expenses? Research. Is my guy... There's a certain pervy sage character from Naruto who also believes going to hot springs is research.
Hot springs anyways. Oh, they're on the coast. That's nice.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's nice.
Isn't Nishinomiya all the way down here? A round trip would take 8 or 9 hours and cost like 10,000 yen.
Why is he doing
15,000 yen. Nonomura paid for first class tickets each time. But seriously, every other day?
That's
it's a bit
such
suspicious.
That's such
it's
a
almost
long...
as if he chose the most expensive ticket to be reimbursed for. Nah, but come on. He's not that dumb. He must have had like receipts, right? Nope. All the trips were fake. In the 3 years he was in office, Nonomura embezzled 8 million yen in tax dollars through business trips. And if the lack of receipts wasn't enough, they also found a whole bunch of itineraries that were actually just impossible. For example, on one day he said he went to the hot springs. Remember, it's a 10-hour trip. He was actually in a meeting. Another one of his fake trips fell on a day where there was record-setting rainfall, and the train he said he took was actually cancelled. He also got caught spending millions of yen in public funds on stamps. Needless to say, when the public found out about his spending, they were pretty upset. But Nonomura...
Let's have a look. All right, let's have a look. How... 8 million Japanese yen in USD. That's nearly $60,000 in 3 years. $20,000 a year he completely embezzled. And at this point, is he not working or does he have a government salary now?
Nonomura knew exactly what to do. He decided to hold a press conference. Let's just say it didn't exactly go as planned. At the start, he admitted, he might have messed up on the numbers here and there. He wasn't very good at math. Obviously, this didn't satisfy the press. It only got worse when he responded to questions like, do you remember the route you took 106 times to the Kinosaki Hot Springs? With answers like, I am not an expert on trains. I don't remember. The reporters kept pushing, and eventually Nonomura cracked. His 8-minute rant was more of a collection of yells and cries, but through the few words he managed to get out, people pieced together that he was trying to say, Japan's declining birth rate is more important than my finances. As a member of the prefectural assembly, I have bigger issues to solve than this. It seemed like Nonomura thought he would be able to stay in office after the press conference. And honestly, he might have, if his crying fit didn't make headlines all over the world.
Oh, damn, man. Oh, no. Dude, come on. Just, you stole money. like you're being caught. You've walked out of the bank. You've got the bag in your hand. You've got your ski mask on. You go to tiptoe across the street, Looney Tunes character style, tiptoe across the street. But then, boom! Big spotlight, boom! Shines on you, sirens start going off, and you're there. Red-handed, holding a bag of money. At that point, you can only go, my bad, my bad. They'll be like, I didn't realize it was a bank. I didn't know this was money. I'm not even real. What are you talking about? I'm not an expert on banks.
Japanese politician could not control his emotions.
You're going to think it's fake. That's an actual Japanese politician.
It was played everywhere, nonstop.
No.
It was on the news. It was online. It was even in anime.
Is that Gintama?
It was in games, and of course, it was in memes.
Oh, for this. Oh, no. I gotta say, the Japanese community is ruthless, man. You guys are ruthless. When we checked out the other meme video as well, I had no idea Japanese memes were like this. They take no prisoners. It's crazy. What the fuck? Oh, come on, man. What the hell?
The public demanded his resignation, but Nonomura thought that if he just waited, they'd get over it. Once the police filed charges against him for falsifying official documents, though, reality started to sink in. He immediately resigned and wire transferred back 18 million yen, his entire political expenditures from the 3 years. People were suspicious that he had that much money in his account ready to send, but whatever. The police raided his home.
18 million!
And he admitted that the business trips were fake. Getting Nonomura into a courtroom was pretty difficult though. He basically delayed the trial for 2 years with excuses, and eventually they had to do something really unprecedented and arrest him and bring him to the courtroom just to get him to show up. At the courthouse, he looked completely different from the press conference. He had his head shaved and he was wearing glasses. In the trial, when asked about some forged documents, Nonomura blamed the police for the forgery, saying they must have done it after they seized the documents. To make things worse, Nonomura basically answered every question with, "I don't remember." He said this almost 90 times, prompting a stern warning from the judge. Nonomura's excuse was that he had a memory disorder, so they asked him, when was it diagnosed? To everyone's surprise, he immediately answered the exact date of diagnosis. On July 6, 2016, Nonomura Ryutaro was found guilty and given a 4-year suspended sentence. He now runs an online radio show. I made a whole bonus video for you guys. It's a 100K subscriber special. It's in the description. It's on Patreon, but it's free. Check it out.
He now hosts an online radio show? So, alright. So the story of this guy is basically this. Man has guy he knows. Not really, but kind of. Guy he knows makes it in politics. Man jealous. Decides he is going to make it in politics. Makes it in politics. Kind of. Copies the guy completely. Copies his party name. Copies everything the guy does. Moves to a different town. Does everything he can to make it in politics. And then, by sheer fucking will, luck, and determination, he makes it. Boom! Bro is a politician. And he could have honestly lived a nice life trying to better the country, better the people, help people out. You know, he'd made it. He'd done it. He achieved his dreams. Well done. He was in his own party and he managed to do it. However, he then decided that his first act of becoming a politician would be to steal everyone's money and spend 18 million, by the way, which is over it's like $130,000. Yeah. All right. That's a lot of money. Yeah, he just decided to just steal it. Do you know what? I actually thought he was going on those trips. I thought my guy every other day was going all the way to like his favorite onsen and just having a nice bath and then going all the way back. I honestly assumed that's what he was doing. I didn't realize it was all fake. Why didn't he just go on those trips? That sounds nice. But 5 hours, did he not think it was going to raise any suspicions that every other day he was doing a 10-hour round trip? He didn't think anyone would have any questions about that? My guy really thought that, Jesus, he thought no one would think. No one would be like, so you're telling me every other day you travel 10 hours? 10 hours a day? My word. All right. So this is Japan's most memed and embarrassing man. All right, fair enough. Yeah, this story is crazy. I can't believe this story is real. And he's now a radio host. What's his radio show like? Is that all right? All right, well, there you go. Shout out Japan Analysis for making this freaking awesome video. Link to their channel is in the description. So go check it out. And yeah, man, I don't know. This video was nuts. Let me know what you want me to react to next. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's it from me. As always, my friends, you right there will see me